Module 5, Risk Assessment, Regulatory Compliance, and Legal Frameworks in Capital Raising. 1. Understanding risk in capital raising. Raising capital inherently involves various types of risks that must be systematically assessed. Financial risk, over-leveraging through debt, underestimating cost of capital, or misaligning cash flow with repayment obligations. Operational risk, poor timing, inadequate internal controls, or lack of readiness to scale after funding. Market risk, investor sentiment, economic fluctuations, and competitive pressures affecting capital availability. Reputational risk, failed campaigns, miscommunication, or unethical practices that erode trust among investors in the market. Legal and regulatory risk, non-compliance with securities laws, corporate governance standards, or contract obligations. You will understand that risk management is proactive, not reactive, and requires ongoing monitoring and mitigation strategies. Second, legal frameworks governing capital. Raising capital involves multiple legal considerations depending on the source of funds. Corporate law governs the issuance of shares, debt instruments, board approvals, and shareholder rights. Securities law ensures transparency, investor protection, and legal compliance for public and private offerings. Contract law governs agreements, term sheets, loan contracts, and investor arrangements. Intellectual property law protects proprietary technology or business methods presented during fundraising. Tax law ensures proper handling of capital gains, interest deductions, and investor tax reporting. This section emphasizes the importance of engaging legal counsel early and maintaining meticulous documentation throughout the fundraising process. Third, regulatory compliance in capital raising. Compliance ensures adherence to statutory requirements, safeguarding both the business and its investors. Disclosure requirements, transparent reporting of financial statements, business risks, and operational plans. Licensing and registration, meeting regulatory approvals for certain types of securities, crowdfunding, or investment offerings. Investor protection rules, ensuring fair treatment, anti-fraud measures, and proper risk disclosures. Cross-border regulations, for international fundraising, complying with multiple jurisdictions' legal frameworks. Module 5 provides practical guidelines on how to navigate regulatory landscapes, ensuring fundraising activities remain legal, ethical, and sustainable. 4. Risk assessment methodologies. This module teaches you how to systematically identify and evaluate risks. Qualitative risk assessment, evaluating potential risks based on scenario analysis, market intelligence, and expert judgment. Quantitative risk assessment, using financial models, sensitivity analysis, and probability distributions to estimate potential impacts. Mitigation strategies, designing operational, financial, and legal safeguards, such as insurance, hedging, contractual protections, or governance mechanisms. You will gain practical skills in creating risk matrices, prioritizing risks, and developing contingency plans. 5. Governance and ethical considerations. Good governance is essential to sustain investor confidence, board oversight, ensuring proper supervision of capital use, strategic decisions, and compliance monitoring. Ethical fundraising practices, transparency, honesty, and responsible representation of financials and business potential. Accountability mechanisms, audit trails, investor reporting, and independent verification of performance metrics. This section stresses that ethical behavior and strong governance are integral to long-term fundraising success. 6th, Integration of risk management, compliance, and strategy. Module 5 emphasizes that risk assessment, legal compliance, and strategic planning are interdependent. Incorporating compliance checks into capital raising timelines. Aligning risk management strategies with investor expectations and funding objectives, using legal and regulatory frameworks to enhance credibility and investor trust. You will understand that capital raising is not just a financial exercise, but a disciplined, strategic process requiring meticulous planning, execution, and oversight. Learning outcomes of Module 5. By the end of Module 5, you will be able to identify and evaluate financial, operational, market, reputational, and legal risks in capital raising. Understand the legal frameworks and regulatory requirements governing capital raising. Implement risk assessment methodologies, including qualitative and quantitative approaches. Develop compliance strategies that protect the business and satisfy investor expectations. Apply governance and ethical principles to ensure sustainable and credible fundraising.